Okay, we just got some huge news about Doom Awakening and the private servers, since I know a lot of you very much wanted private servers or being able to win servers, and then with it being a little more MMO, it was up in the air, but we just got our answer. So let's go ahead and jump on into this and break down everything you need to know about what's going on with private servers. So right out the gate, this is coming from the official Twitter account, and as stated, we finally share with you the winnable private servers will be available on June 5th when Dune Awakening launch into Head Start. So right out the gate, just straight to it. Fantastic. There will be servers available for you to get your hands on, and Elite also officially verified to be there on the 5th. But we do got some other thing here. As stated, we do, however, want to manage the feelings about the private server work. As you know, this is not your typical survival game. And then, of course, a breakdown of what they are meaning here. So let's go ahead and jump into any more details here. So what they state here over on the official website about that, we have, in short, each server belong to a war constructing of several other servers, and each of these will share the same social hub and deep desert, which is, like, once again, one of the reasons we're thinking it may or may not happen anytime soon, but nonetheless, that will allow us to attain the neighborhood-like feeling, to haggle base, and provide persistent freedom of building and other server demanding mechanic you will typically see in survival game. We combine that with a large-scale multiplayer mechanic you would expect to be found in MMOs, which is one of the things I'm the most excited about this. Well, hundreds of players meet each other in the social hub and in the deep desert to engage in social activity, trade, conflict, and more. Naturally, transferring this setup to a private server model have not been trivial. We decided early on that we do not want to remove a large-scale multiplayer aspect of the game, as that is such a critical part of Dune Awakening experience, and the game content and mechanic are deeply rooted in this setup. It was simply never an option for it to release a half a game for private servers. We know we had to come up with a solution that would retain the fundamental MMO-like feature, like making Dune Awakening so unique, while still giving the player some control, and perhaps more importantly, over who have access to those servers. That means we have to make some concessions in terms of how much control the player have over the private server. The result is a model of where you have fewer settings available than you would in other survival games, such as Conan Exile. We wanted to be completely clear and upfront about that, so you can make an informed decision as to whether it worth it for you and your friend to win a private server. And of course, we do have a little bit of a breakdown here of what we already have seen many times here. From Deep Desert, Hazard Bay, Village, and whatnot. As far of how private servers are going to work, when you win a private server, you essentially went in a server constructed one haggle basin, just like the official server. Here you will have a full haggle basin map, and you can do everything you would do on a official servers. Your private server will belong to a world consisting of other private server. You can choose an world for your private server when you win from a provider. That means that you will still be able to take full advantage of Dune Awakening large-scale multiplayer content and mechanic, including visiting a social hub, deep desert to meet and play with other people from any private server in the same world. So, right out the gate here, this is, like, honestly kind of super interesting of just allowing, like, actual private server to engage with other private servers. So, who knows, maybe there will be something that will be very much in handy for people who want to take part in, say, like, guilds activity, but don't want to interact with, you know, the map public. Interesting to see that any private servers are still going to be connected, if, from the way it seems, if you do have that option on. But nonetheless, like, continue here. Players do not win or control social hub near the deep desert. Those are provided by the server host company who ensure each private server will have them. Okay, there we go. I get that verified now, that you will have aspects that going to be locked away for you and your friends. But safe to say, like, the more private or the more PvP side of the servers is still going to be there, which once again is interesting. Anyway, with that being said, so what settings will be available for your private server? Because your private server will belong to the world of other private servers, and you will be meeting and playing with other people in the social hub in Deep Desert. You won't be able to control every aspect of how the private server works. With setting you can configure for your server, and ultimately up to the third-party server provider, but there are the settings we are making available. So, social. So, we have a secure zone. You can disable a security zone entirely, making all part of Haggle Basin PvP enabled, or you can choose to have a pocket of PvP like the official server. Dude, that is kind of neat. For anyone who's not aware how I'm working in the base game right now, or the official server, PvP is strictly a deep desert situation, as well as certain activity such as like crash airships. That will be specifically area that will be PvP, but the normal like open like the area you're gonna start off where you can be building your base, like that stuff is not PvP. So with this, look like you can pretty much make the whole game PvP if you want it to be. So that is even more interesting for all you who want to roleplay and do PvP stuff. When it comes to taxation, you can disable taxation on your server. So once again, in the base game, if you build a part of land in a certain area, you will have to pay a fee. I want to say it was every week, I think is what it was. And you have to pay that to pretty much keep your house. Which let's boil that down to that pretty much nothing more than getting money in and out of the economy. But nonetheless, private server can turn that off. And when it comes to also turning things off, we also have the sandstorms. You can disable sandstorms, making them not appear on your server. So the thing interesting about this is, on one hand, you don't got to deal with sandstorms, so your stuff not going to break. Which in return, does that mean you don't have to worry about having a shield anymore, since your base is not being destroyed? But I guess if you're someone who want to not deal with a mechanic, or someone that want to play the game for like a week or two, leave for a couple months, come back, and you don't want to lose your stuff or go through the steps needed to keep your stuff available, private server might be for you. So with that being said, doesn't seem like stuff going to be decaying, right along with, you know, obviously the gameplay of the danger that come with the sandstorm for gameplay aspect will be removed. But hey, if you want your house and you don't think you have the ability to keep up with it, once again, private server might be for you here. With that being said, let's continue on here, and you will also be able to name your server, set a password for it. Please note that the private server do not have a administration control panel, nil character transfer procedure. We will do the function launch. So honestly, a lot of the private server stuff I would kind of like, I'm not seeing really too much of a point here, especially with the connection to other private server. But honestly, the options here might be the reason for this. But with that, let's go ahead and continue on to visiting other players' servers. Just like how we can visit other servers in the world when you are playing on official server, you can do the same with private server. All you need to do is select a other server in the server selection menu, and put in the server password when prompt, and you can take with you everything on your character, and you are free to do anything you would like on the server. You can also claim land, something you can't do when visiting official servers. When you arrive on other servers, you will be appointed as a Griffin Reach trading post. So it looks like you're going to be super simple to actually join here. And when it comes to renting the server, we do have a few providers here, where of course I will have all the link, not only to the article, but I will have each of the private server providers linked below, so you can go ahead and go do this if it's something you interest to you. So once again, we got 3 options here that will be there day 1. And also, this is another obvious thing I stated here pretty much, is if you have any tech support issue, you gotta take it up to the person you are renting from, not Funcom directly. So with that, that is everything happening with private servers here. And honestly, seemed like a fairly decent amount of options here that is reasonable. I know some of you might be disappointed, especially for all you who love getting in there and tweaking every little detail. But to be totally honest, I am honestly surprised that private servers are going to be there for the asset, since I know they have talked about previously of like looking into it and whatnot. But it honestly really awesome news to know that you guys are going to be able to do that if that's something you into. And like I said, some of the stuff like not having to worry about your bait being destroyed or paying taxes is honestly kind of nice. And also, as for the MMO stuff, still being able to take part in that with all the private servers being connected here. So yeah, so it seemed like, once again, you will have to still interact with people outside of your own private server, but only in certain areas. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff here. Hopefully, this will be helpful for you. Let me know in the comment below if you're going to do a private server, or do you want more control, or are we just going to be playing on the default server? Let me know below in the comment. And with that, that is everything for the time being for private server. And once again, I will go ahead and keep you all up to date, not only on brand new information coming for Doom Awakening, but also how-to guides, live stream, let play, you name it. We're going to be doing it here. And of course, make sure you come on over to my live stream, because I will be playing a Doom as soon as the server go live, as long as they don't crash and born in, like right out of the gate. Either way, over on twitch.tv/TroyMaconn. Also here on YouTube as well. And of course, for all you here on YouTube, make sure to do thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells if you have found that video helpful. And of course, hit that wonderful join button. Hit up patreon.com/TroyMaconn, or subscribing on Twitch to be like all the wonderful folks here. Thank you, my dudes. And with that, I will go ahead and see you in the comments.